What's up, people? I'm Shaggy, the opinionated hippie, continuing my deep dive into covers albums, looking for the best covers album. Been focusing on a artist covering lots of different artist covers album. Eventually, soon, I'm going to expand that into a bunch of artists focusing on one artist and see if we get better results. Because really only had one successful one so far. I'll put up the list when I'm done talking about this one. My number 7th that I'm investigating, Weezer's, I think it's called the Teal album. I don't know if that's the actual name, but it's teal as opposed to blue or red or white or any of the other colors they've done. I heard Africa, their cover of Africa. Where was I? I think it was in the grocery store, and it was pretty loud. And I was bopping along to it, and I was like, oh man, this is the Weezer version. Like the vocals, I could just tell it wasn't Toto. And I was like, I wonder if they have a whole album full of covers. And sure enough, they do. This came out in 2019. There are 10 songs on here. All pretty, well, kind of all over the map, actually. And this is why I don't like covers albums. Every song is pretty true to the original. There's one kind of interesting moment in, what is it in? In Take On Me, the Aha song from the 80s, which they almost do this little, after what I guess is a solo, I don't know what it is, little keyboard break in the middle, a little synth break. There's this little vocal breakdown that kind of sounds like a Sufjan Stevens vocal melody from anything, Illinois, maybe something funky off any of those latter two that followed Illinois. I don't know. But it reminds me of Sufjan. And it's a little bit of an indulgence on the Aha track, and about the only one. Some of these sound a little more power pop rocky because Weezer's a power pop rock band, but I don't think when they sound power pop rocky, they make the song sound better. A lot of times I'm like, wow, they've done a really good job sounding exactly like the song. And then the vocals start. I'm like, yeah, but this singer is not singing. So it wasn't really a rough listen because these songs sound exactly like the songs they're covering. I just don't know why it exists. I read a couple reviews that said something along the line like, Weezer's in on the joke, or Weezer gets the built-in hilarity of covers albums, or just weird little nods to Weezer as if they're so smart and satirical that they can put out a covers album in which the songs sound exactly like the originals, and that's a win for Weezer. I don't get it. I like Weezer. I'm not complaining about Weezer. I still rock their first 4 albums, right? First 4, Blue, Pinkerton, Green, right? That's 3rd. And then Maladroit. Yeah, I still rock those 4 albums. Hit and miss on the things that follow. So I don't have a Weezer problem. I don't get the joke in this if it's a joke. I don't need to listen to I wanted to do is go back and listen to the original songs, if I wanted to do that. Opens up with Africa, the huge one, the one that became a hit. It sounds like Africa. They do a good job. Good on you, Toto. You wrote a good song. Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears sounds exactly like the Tears for Fears version, but as soon as they start singing, I don't think his voice is as good as, I know it's not Roland it's the bass player that's doing the lead singing on this one. I think he's got a better voice. I think the Tears for Fears guy has a better voice. It made me want to go listen to Tears for Fears. Next, we get Sweet Dreams Are Made of This. Synth groove is cool in this. They do a good job with the synth energy. But as soon as the vocals start, I'm like, oh, that's not Annie Lennox. Nope, that's not Annie Lennox. Take On Me, I think, is probably the one thing that's kind of interesting, that's maybe a little more, okay, that's cool, especially that little Sufjan type vocal breakdown where things get kind of interesting in the back half. But it's 20 seconds on a 36-minute album. They do Happy Together, Zappa connection for you right there. Imagine Me and You, I do listen to, I would rather hear the Zappa version of this. Well, again, that's just kind of the Turtles version of this. Paranoid, I wrote that this was surprisingly not horrible, and it's surprisingly not horrible. But why would I listen to Weezer cover Paranoid when I can just as easy access Black Sabbath pretty much anywhere? Mr. Blue Sky lacks the joy, lacks the whatever it is that Lynn brings to this song, just the delirious freedom that an Electric Light Orchestra song brings when it's celebrating happiness. Like, you just can't duplicate that Jeff Lynne joy, and I don't think they duplicate it. We get a no scrubs, which just seems obvious. Seems like, yeah, of course you're going to do something kind of like this. Like, in a live setting, all of these songs work. If I go see a live Weezer show and they drop an hour, hour and a half of music and they throw in a couple covers and one of them is No Scrubs, yeah, I'm having a good time. I'm probably going to sing along. But do I need to hear it, a studio version of No Scrubs? I don't. TLC, by the way, if you don't know. Then we get some Michael Jackson, Billie Jean. I have to admit, River, is that his name? River Phoenix? Is River? It's not River. River Phoenix, that's the actor. Rivers Cuomo. I knew it wasn't River Phoenix. Does a good job of trying to be a little emotive in a Michael Jackson sort of way on Billie Jean. But come on, man. You got to go deep cut on a Michael Jackson track, and Billie Jean's not deep cut. And then we close out with Stand By Me, which they kind of lean in a little bit with that power pop rock that I was talking about earlier, but it doesn't work for Stand By Me. They should have gone the opposite way. They should have gone like Butterfly acoustic right on there. Just go as delicate as possible. I think that would have worked. That would have been the good vibe for this. But yeah, like I can't. There's no reason. Like, I understand the existence of such an album in like the 70s or even in the 80s when you're like, man, I love all these songs. And this is like, I don't have to go buy these albums. And these versions kind of sound like it. And they're tweaked just a little enough to make me go, oh, it's Weezer. But man, like, there's nothing on here in which they take a chance, in which they do something like, yeah, I've talked about Take On Me, but that's minor. No, like, cover albums can be good. I'm going to show you the list in like less than a minute of the ones I've done. The one at number 1, it's killing it. That thing was good. That's how you do a covers album. This is why I don't like covers albums. Where would I rank this album among the other ones I've done so far? Again, I'm not trying to be a hater. I like Weezer. I've seen Weezer live a bunch of times. One of the best pair of shows I ever saw, Stubbs in Austin. They did the Blue album the first night. They did like the Blue album and then like 45 minutes of other songs, which was pretty sweet. And then the next night they did Pinkerton and then 45 minutes of other songs, which was pretty sweet. Loved the setup. So I'm a Weezer fan, but I don't need this. This is a bonus disc on another album. This is a bonus disc in like a Weezer box set compilation. Like, that makes sense. As a standalone release, hope they're cutting a check to a lot of other artists for the sales on this. Don't know how that works. But yeah, I don't get it. I just don't get it. If you know what the joke is or what I'm missing or whether it's clever in a way that I'm just overthinking, let me know, because I don't hear it. Oh, but where would I rank it? It's number last. It's got 0%. I'm not even giving Take On Me props for that little Sufjan inspired part. No, man. Sorry. The rest of the stuff weighs you down. The rest of the stuff cancels out. The fact that Africa was as huge as Africa was cancels out everything. Not that anybody needs to go buy a full Toto album, but come on, man. Toto's Greatest Hits? I'm sure that's a banger. I know there's a lot of Toto fans in the world. My mom and dad were big Toto fans because they were huge in the late 70s and 80s. I know too much Toto, but still, man. Yeah, all right, I'm rambling. It's last. Easily. All right, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. I knew this was going to be short. Defend this album for me, people. I understand, like, if you want to just hear these songs, but we live in the modern age with streaming. Put together a playlist with the originals. Like, right? Or what's the joke? Tell me the joke. All right. Subscribe, like, share, comment. Thanks for watching. Go listen to one of their first 4 albums, not this one, because those are fantastic. Peace. Talk to you later.